till I come. Give attendance to reading,
Uh-huh.
to exhortation, to doctrine.
Uh-huh.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
It said, neglect not the gift that is in thee, right? We know what we're supposed to be doing. We know what the commandments are. You know we shouldn't be entertaining our lusts. We know we shouldn't be lurking in them streets. We know that. Read on.
Which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery.
Uh-huh.
Meditate upon these things.
It says, meditate upon these things. What? Meditate in the scriptures. We're supposed to meditate in the scriptures, like it says, day and night. Read on.
Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
That your profiting may appear to all, right? Because when you meditate and you give a tenet to it, that becomes your character. Proverbs 6:23, it said, out of the heart proceed evil thoughts. Adultery, right? Adultery. Proverbs 6.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6.
And start at verse 23.
In verse 23.
Uh-huh.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
It said the commandments is a lamp, and the laws of God is a light. It's a light to us, right? Read on.
And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Uh-huh.
To keep thee from the evil woman.
It said what?
To keep thee from the evil woman.
Uh-huh.
From the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman.
So what the laws of God do is that light to you. It's to keep you from getting destroyed. It's to keep you from acting on those things that's already bothering you in your mind. We already battling in a war in our mind. The laws of God is going to keep us from that. Read on.
Lust not after her beauty in thine heart.
And we just read over that as well. Read.
Neither let her take thee with her eyelids.
Uh-huh.
For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread.
So a woman can make a man fall, right? So as a man can do the same as well, right? Read on.
And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
You see that? It said the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. It's like a prey. Things start in your mind. Read on.
Verse 27.
Uh-huh.
Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned?
It said, can a man take fire in his bosom, in your chest, and your clothes don't get burned? What's that saying in the world? Hey, play with fire, you're gonna get burned. That's all biblical. You play around with them demons, you're gonna get burnt.
You're gonna learn today.
Read on.
Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned?
Uh-huh. You know that when I read that, I think it's on Aladdin or something like that. I think Elon be doing that, and they're walking them coals, they try to run across and stuff like that, and it burns you. This is what the Bible is talking about. Read on.
Verse 29. So he that goeth in to his neighbor's wife,
uh-huh,
whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent.
That's that adultery. Read on.
Men do not despise a thief.
It says, men do not despise a thief if what?
If he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry.
You see that? Men don't despise somebody who's stealing to feed himself. He ain't stealing to come up or gain anything. He just stealing to feed himself. He hungry, right? Men may not hate that, right? Read on.
But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold.
Why? Because if he be found, he could just pay back what he stole. Read on.
He shall give all the substance of his house.
He gonna pay it back. Read.
But whosoever
it says but
whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
It said they lack understanding. Read on.
He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
You see that? So when we commit adultery and things of that nature, we destroy our own soul. Read on.
A wound and dishonor shall he get.
And that's that name. A wound and dishonor shall he get. Read on.
And his reproach shall not be wiped away.
That's that name. That's that stain. Read.
For jealousy is the rage of a man.
Now it's saying jealousy is the rage of a man. Who is that man? It's that husband. You done defiled the husband's wife. Now he's jealous and raged. This is what the Bible is saying. Read on.
Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
When that time comes, he's not going to spare in the time of vengeance. He's going to be out for blood. Read on.
He will not regard any ransom.
He's not taking no payment. He's not trying to hear sorry. He's not trying to hear none of that. Read on.
Neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
So he's not taking no ransom until he's done whatever he had in his mind. Right? So that's why evil thoughts, adultery, that's one of the demons. We can't act on it, right? Like we just read, how to deal with these things. Go back to Mark 7:21. That's one demon, right?
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
It said, out of the heart of man proceed evil thoughts. Read on.
Adultery. Fornications.
Okay, so adultery, fornication, 1 Corinthians 5. I'm going to speed up a little bit. 1 Corinthians 5, start at give me verse 1. I just want to show y'all something real quick because a lot of these things happen in the world, but I want to show y'all something.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 1. It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you, and such fornication as is not so much as named among the Gentiles, that one should have his father's wife.
It said that one should have his father's wife. This is the church of Corinth. So what it's saying, adultery and fornication, it happens in the church.
Damn.
It happens in this truth. And we have seen it, right? Because somebody couldn't control them thoughts that was going through their mind, right? So these things happen in the church, right? So it said fornications, right? Let's get Leviticus 18. Leviticus 18, we'll start at verse 1. We'll go through this real quick. Leviticus 18 and 1.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
It said, after the doings of the land of Egypt, where we dwelt, we should not do, right? Because we know we was in bondage under the Egyptians, right? That's the same thing today in America. Today we're in America, which is spiritual Egypt, and God is still letting us know that the ways of Egypt, we shouldn't do these things. A lot of things that we do, it comes from America. A lot of things that our brothers and sisters did at this time, it came from Egypt, right? So the way we think, how we live, all these different things we do, it comes from America, right? All these thoughts that we have, it comes from America. You'll see certain what's them things called? It'd be like new trends and stuff that pop up and our people start doing. Where do you think they learn that from? No matter if it's on TikTok or wherever, it comes from America, right? So these things that we follow comes from America, same as they did when they came from Egypt. Read on.
And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments.
So what God is letting us know, we're supposed to keep his commandments. Point blank, period. Read.
Which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord.
But we're supposed to keep them and live in them. But read on.
None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness.
Now it's going into things that we learn from the Egyptians. The same thing that plagues our people today, we still do and learn in America, right? So it says we're not supposed to go to the next of kin and uncover their nakedness. Read on.
I am the Lord. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother.
You're not supposed to uncover the nakedness of your father. We may say, oh, that's disgusting. That's nasty. You think our people don't do that? You think our people don't do that? Read on. Even their mother. Some mothers say their son is their boyfriend. Go to prom and all that stuff. All right? Read on.
Shalt thou not uncover? She is thy mother.
That's called incest. Right? Ephraim, you silly for that. What's those, some inbreds or something? Like that's a wrong turn. That's the people on wrong turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, but our people get that from these people, from the other nations. A lot of things we do, we get it from the other nations, right? Crazy. All right, Ephraim, man, you silly for that, man. All right, where we at, officer?
Verse 7. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Verse 8. The nakedness of thy father's wife.
Not supposed to uncover your father's wife. That's that adultery. Read on.
Shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness.
It said, it is thy father's nakedness. Read a little faster, officer.
The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father.
You see, so what these things is going into is the things that we was doing in Egypt. Oh, yeah. Shout out to you, Egyptology, too. We see how nasty you are. We see that. You want to be Egyptology? This your history. Why don't you follow it? Follow what the Egyptians did. I just had to say that. All right, keep going, officer. My bad.
Or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad. Even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover.
Okay, so it's going to go into all these different things. It's going into incest, going into threesomes, all this different stuff the Egyptians was doing, right? Ephraim, let me get that article real quick. I ain't got to go through all of them. Let's see where a lot of this stuff comes from, right? Officer, read that.
Discussions surrounding incest and child sexual abuse in the black community highlight deep-seated historical trauma.
So a lot of this stuff comes from trauma that we have went through, right? Trauma of being in captivity. Read on.
Systemic marginalization and the devastating culture of silence created by the legacy of slavery.
A lot of this stuff that we do, how we think, it stems from slavery. Read on.
Academic and social literature frequently explores how these intersecting factors impact black families.
Okay, read on. The legacy.
The legacy of slavery and intergenerational trauma. Scholars and historians note that the sexualized violence, sexualized violence, forced breeding,
that's what they did in slavery,
and power dynamics of chattel slavery deepen, fracture black family structures. Historically, black women and girls were often left completely unprotected. This trauma has manifested over generations, where the devastating effects of the external oppression sometimes lead to micro-level violence and abuse within the home.
Okay, so a lot of these things stem from slavery, right? Let's get the next one. I think the next one going. And when it comes to this, a lot of times in our community, we don't like to talk about incest that went on in our communities, right? That's something we like to keep quiet, right? But let's see why. Read that real quick. Because these things happen. We got it from the other nations. You know where you had that nasty uncle. Yeah, come sit on my lap, niece. We know how that stuff go, but we don't like to talk about that, and this is why. They're going to explain it. Read that.
The culture of silence.
It says the culture of silence. These things we like to keep silent. But when you read and understand the Bible, we know where these things come from. Like it said, out of the heart proceed evil thoughts. Read that.
A frequent topic of analysis in the reluctance of victims and families to report incest and sexual abuse. This silence often stems from a complex combination of factors.
So it said the silence where we don't like to talk about these things in the black community, but it happens. It says it's a combination of factors why we don't. Let's see.
Communal protectiveness. Because black men have historically faced extreme marginalization and disproportionate targeting by the justice system.
So they're saying we don't like to put more on black people or black men because the judicial system already looks at us as a certain way. So they saying this is one reason why we don't like to mention that. Read on.
There can sometimes be an urge to protect black men from the law, even when they are the perpetrators of abuse.
So this is one reason why they saying it don't like to be talked about in the black community, right? But read on.
Fear of confirming stereotypes. African American families have historically been subjected to structural racism and cultural deficiency. Myths, fearing that exposing defiance within the family will fuel racist characters. Community members have often suppressed the truth to protect the collective image of the black family.
So it's to protect the black image of the family, right? This is why they say the black community don't like to talk about sexual abuse in their households and what happens in their communities because of that. Read that the lack of institutional.
Lack of institutional support. Studies show that cultural factors, racial identity, and religious faith impact how pastors and community leaders handle or fail to handle. It said that the pastors, they fail to handle these things because some of them pastors be touching them too, you know.
Damn.
Like, go ahead.
Reports of incest, often discouraging victims from coming forward to secular authorities.
All right, so we can drop that. 18 and 19, Leviticus 18 and 19. So when you read through that, a lot of that is going through different things that we shouldn't do. We shouldn't be touching on our sisters and so on and so forth, right? It's talking about the incest, right? But how it starts in your mind, right? Verse 19.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 19. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness.
Okay, so, all right. This is something else that defiles a man, right? We're not supposed to approach your wife on her cycle. Our people do that in the world. It's been, some people may do that in the truth. God damn. Right? But give me that article real quick, Ephraim. Let me get that. Let's see what that stems from. Read that, officer.
In the King James Version of the Bible, the Old Testament law states that a man who has sex with a menstruating woman is considered ritually unclean for 7 days.
Okay, so that's the law. We weren't supposed to lay with our wife on her menstrual. That's the law. That never changed, but let's see, according to Christians. All right.
However, most modern Christian theology teaches that it is no longer applies as a moral sin under the New Testament.
Damn.
The Old Testament.
That what they was using Mark 7 as well. I forgot the article. They was using Mark 7 to justify what we reading. All right, you can drop that. But this is what the Christian church does. I'm going to be honest. Christianity destroys our people. Understand that. It destroys our people. You got a video for me, Ephraim? Now, before we play this, is it a video? I can't remember. It's not? No, I think it is. I got it written down.
Hey, Off, can I bring out some real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Give me Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Because our people still struggle with incest, the uncleanness of sleeping with sisters on a cycle, and Christianity is a lie. This is why Paul had to say this in Colossians. Give me that.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 5. Mortify, therefore, your members which are upon the earth.
To mortify means to deaden, to kill off. Paul is telling us that we must kill off the sins or members that we struggle with which are upon the earth. Read on.
Fornication.
Fornication. A lot of us deal with that fornication spirit. That's officer was bringing out. Paul says we got to kill that off. Read on.
Uncleanness.
Uncleanness. If you sleep with your wife or a sister on her cycle, that's unclean in the eyesight of God. So that just wasn't in the Old Testament. Paul had to come back in Colossians to let us know sleeping with your wife on her cycle, that's ungodly. Read on.
Inordinate affection.
Inordinate affection. If you have the incest spirit, you want to sleep with your sister or your brother, or you have that spirit that you want pedophilia spirit, you want to sleep with a boy or a girl, Paul says you need to deaden that spirit. Kill it off. Read on.
Evil concupiscences.
That's that rape spirit. Some brothers want to take a rock or a stick and knock a sister over her head and rape her. You got to put off that spirit, that rape spirit. Read on.
And covetousness.
And covetousness. If you have sexual and lustful desires for another man's wife or another sister's husband, guess what? That's covetousness in the eyesight of God. Why? Because they don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. Read on.
Which is idolatry.
Which is idolatry. Why? Because you put all of these other sins above keeping the laws of God. That's idolatry in the eyesight of God. All right, that's it.
Hey, all praise. Ephraim, I think it is that TikTok video. Now, parental advisory, right? It's nothing. No, that's not it. Yeah, I think that's it. Now, I mean, it's not nothing too discretional, but if you may not want your children watching something, I mean, you may want to get them out. But this just shows what our people are dealing with, all right? Let's play it.
Open to having sex with women when they're on their periods.
It's true. Now I understand why you had that question.
Go ahead, Peter.
It's really not that bad. Does anybody own a towel? Raise your hand. Your body needs a break, baby. Your body needs a break. Nobody want to have sex smelling like a bag of pennies.
All you gotta do is put a towel down and get to work. That's why you got covered towels. That's up to
Let
the
me breathe a little bit, baby. I'm not talking full-fledged murder scene, right? But the last day, I'm talking about the last day where you're like, barbecue sauce day? Look, barbecue, look. There's a drop. Yeah. There's a drop or two. That day is different, but if you're talking day 3, mid-cycle, you're weird, bro. Mid-cycle is wild. Yeah, mad crazy. Mad crazy.
Hey, hold on. To all my fellas that done it. That period. Well, it is.
All right.
Promote you.
All right.
Damn. You got the devil on you.
This is what Christianity does. Understand that. This is what Christianity does. They tell our people the laws are done away with, and we be in all type of filth. We do all these different things that defiles a man. Right? Christianity, they're how you think you Moses parting the Red Sea. You know? That's
That ain't in the Bible.
I hate to say it like that, but this is what our people do, right? Evil things that defile a man. All right, let's jump there. Let's go back. You know, Leviticus 18.
Yes, sir.
Jump to verse 20. What I want? Give me verse 20.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, and verse 20.
Read through 24.
Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife.
Leviticus 18 and nope. Let's drop to 24. We get straight to it. 24.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, and verse 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled.
You see that? So God says we're not supposed to defile ourselves with any of those things. Those are things that defile us. Those the uncleanliness that defiles a man. Understand that. Let's go back to Mark 7. We keep it pushing.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, and verse 21. For from within, out of the hearts of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries.
That's adulteries. We went over that.
Fornications.
Fornication, that's that second demon. We just touched on that. A lot of those adultery and fornication laws is from Leviticus 18, right? What's the next one?
Murders.
Murders. It said, out of the heart proceed evil thoughts. Murder. Meaning what? A lot of our people have murderous spirits on them, right? Ephraim, you got something for me? All right, so that's the murder part of it. Give me the next one. Let's see where it leads up to. Out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
time I wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind.
All right, cut it.
AK-40.
He said he wake up, he has murder on his mind. It's a lot of our young brothers and sisters that's like that today. It said, out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murder. He's telling you he has murder on his mind. That's that murderous spirit, right? We can't have that. Give me let me see what I got. I think I got an article, Ephraim. You got an article for me? Is it something about black men? Let's I don't even think I highlighted. Go down some more. It talks about the murder rate. Yeah, it talks about the murder rate. Dang, I don't think I highlighted it. It should be in there. Yeah, it's not at the bottom. Yeah, if you go up, it's going to go into the numbers. Yes, read that. Read that. That's it. What the numbers say.
Black men's health. What the numbers say. The rate of gun-related homicides spiked during the pandemic, as did black male deaths. The most significant increases in gun-related homicides between 2019 and 2020 occurred among black males, according to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC reports that the firearm homicide rate among black males 10 to 24
It said 10 through 24. 10-year-olds through 24. Read.
Was 20.6 times as high as the rate among white males of the same age in 2019.
So that's talking about when it was going into 2020 to 2022. The murder rate percentage was high. That was one of the leading cause of black men at that time. Now through 2026, it's heart disease. That's a different class. But it's showing the levels of how our people are. Why? Because they got that murderous spirit. They got murder on their mind. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, all right. So we can drop that.
Hey, what's crazy is y'all know that guy that sung the song with Murder on My Mind. Y'all know he in jail? Y'all know what he in jail for? Double murder. Straight up. He was awaiting trial for murder. So the officer is right. It start off in the mind. You start speaking it. You act on it.
Yep. All right. Let's see what another form of murder is. Let's get that, Ephraim. You got another one for me. What's another form of murder? Right? What's another form of murder? Let's see.
Murder. It's after police say she took abortion pills, gave birth, and the baby died. I'm Ben Becker.
I'm Tanika Hughes. She was arrested by Kingsland police last week. Action News Jack's Madison Foglio spoke with legal experts about how a case like this could play out.
Georgia has one of the most restrictive abortion laws in the country. The Life Act essentially deems a person alive once they have a detectable heartbeat, even before birth. But according to Kingsland police, in this case, a woman gave birth to a baby that lived for about an hour. According to the arrest report, 31-year-old Alexia Moore took 200 milligrams of misoprostol, which is a drug used to have an abortion. The report says Moore took it before she was transported to Southeast Georgia Health System Hospital in Camden County. The arrest report states she gave birth to a girl and the infant was, quote, premature and having major health issues. The report says Moore wanted to leave the hospital after she attempted to abort the child herself. This was in December. She was arrested last week and charged with murder.
In order for someone to be charged in murder.
So that's another form of murder. It starts in your mind. She took some pills before she went to the delivery room. That's another form of it, right? That's crazy. Ephraim, you got another article for me? And let me see. Stroll down. Go to the national. It's going to say national incident or something. Yeah, right there. Read that part, officer. Read that part.
national incidence of clinically provided abortion was stable between 2024 and 2025. There were an estimated 1,126,000 abortions provided by clinicians. I think it's clinicians.
Clinicians, right.
In the United States in 2025, largely unchanged from the estimated 1,124,000 provided in 2024. This is the highest number of abortions provided in the United States since 2009. However, it is still well below the historical peak of slightly over 1.6 million abortions in 1990.
Okay, so it's still high. It said there was an estimate of how many?
1,126,000
abortions in 2025. Last year, right? Give me that next article real quick. 1 million and something in the U.S. In 2025. This is another form of murder. It starts in the mind. You want to do that fornication and adultery, and then you get that murderous spirit. Why? Because you want to abort your baby. Right? Read that.
Approximately 295,000 black babies.
It said 295,000 black babies. That's just Judah. Read on.
And 195,000 Hispanic babies.
Hispanic babies. Dang, that's up there too. This is annually, right?
Are aborted annually in the United States.
It said are aborted annually in the United States. Black parents, real quick.
Black patients.
Patients, my bad.
Black patients account for about 39 to 42% of all abortions in the U.S.
And that's just black patients. Go to Hispanic.
Hispanic patients account for approximately 21 to 22% of all abortions.
Damn, you combine that's like 60-some%, right? So these are the blacks and Hispanics, right? Now, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one, Ephraim. Let's see. We don't think of these, right? Read that.
Married women account for about 13 to 14% of all abortions in the United States.
Y'all don't see a problem with that? It said married women be having abortions.
So what are they doing? They having affairs.
They committing that adultery. They committing that adultery. Right? It said, but now they didn't give the race portion when it comes to marriage for legal reasons. But if we know it's 42% black patients and 20-some% Hispanic patients, that's like 60-some%. So out of that 14, understand it's a high amount of us.
Right. Can I show you something off? Ephraim, are you able to pull that up? I want to show you another side of this issue with abortions. Let's look at this. Listen to this.
Good afternoon, this is Autumn.
Hello, Autumn. I'm interested in making a donation today.
Fantastic.
What about abortions for the underprivileged minority groups? I want to specify that abortion to help a minority group. Would that be possible? Like the black community, for example?
Certainly.
Okay. So the abortion could be, I could give money specifically for a black baby. That'd be the purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to designate that you wanted your gift to be used to help an African-American woman in need, then we would certainly make sure that gift was earmarked specifically for that purpose.
Great, because I really face trouble with affirmative action, and I don't want my kids being disadvantaged, against black kids. I just had a baby. I want to put it in his name, so that's definitely possible.
Always.
And we just think,
Look how evil that is. Right. He think he's doing something good, talking about these are disadvantaged kids, but there are thousands of Edomites that call and give. This is how these abortion clinics are able to stay functional, right? They got people donating and specifically stating, I want you to kill black kids.
That's crazy. All right, so that's That's another form of murder, right? All right, I'm going to get one more. I'm going to touch on one more. Also, let me get 1 Kings 21 and start at verse 1. I'm probably going to jump through some of this. I know it's 450. Okay. 450. 1 Kings 21 and verse 1.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that Naboth, the Jezreelite, had a vineyard, which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria.
Read just a little faster.
And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, Give me the vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it.
Okay, so this is King Ahab, right? He wanted a vineyard that Naboth had, right? Read on.
And I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the money of it, the worth of it in money.
So he's trying to negotiate with him and let him know what he would give for it. Read on.
And Naboth said to Ahab, The Lord forbidded me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee.
Because certain things you inherited, it may not be for sale. That's like you may have, give an example. It may be a watch or something that your grandfather may have gave you, right? It could be anything, and somebody may want to buy it from you, but you're not trying to sell it. Why? Because your grandfather gave it to you. This is the same thing as Naboth in his vineyard. Read on.
And Ahab came unto his house, heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him.
So he basically said, no, I can't do it. This is my inheritance. I can't do it. Read.
For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread.
So what the king did, he threw a little fit. He said he turned his head and everything, right? Read on.
But Jezebel, his wife.
Jezebel who?
His wife.
Okay, Jezebel, his wife. Read.
Came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad?
So the wife came to him like, why your countenance? Why your spirit so sad? Read.
That thou eatest no bread. And he said unto her, Because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal.
So what she do?
So she wrote letters in Ahab's name.
So she wrote letters in the king's name. Think of what's going on here, right? To do certain things, she's already thinking something, right? Read on.
And sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letter, saying, Proclaim a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people.
So she's setting something up. Read on.
And set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying, Thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him, that he may die.
You see that? So out of the heart proceed evil thoughts. She just premeditated all that. She put in her mind that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a letter in the king's name. I'm going to send it here, and we're going to put him on high. We're going to do this. Right? Read on.
And the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them. They proclaimed a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, and sat before him. And the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme God and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with the stones that he died.
You see that? So what does she do? She set him up to get killed, right? What is that called? Conspiracy to murder. That's another form of it, right? I got another video, but for time's sake, we're gonna skip it. But these things happen. It starts in the mind. Go back to Mark 7.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts.
It says thefts. Ephraim, you may have to skip over the last video. Go to the next one I got with thefts, right? This is why we must teach our children, right? We seen the incident with them knocking on the doors and running and stuff, right? We must teach our children because our children do, not our children in here, but the children out there, they do foolish things like this. Oh, it says Indianapolis. Okay. All right, let's see that. Oh, that's Chow. You better leave them people alone, man. They hate our guts.
Hey, running out. Y'all, come on.
It says thefts. You had a group of little children. To be honest, their parents probably set them up to do it anyways. You had a group of little children going into these stores stealing. Going into Moab, them stores stealing. He easy could have killed them and probably got off. Because of the circumstances of things that happen. You can cut off Ephraim. It says thefts, right? You ever went into a store and you seen in the store they have pictures of us on there and they say, I steal? You don't see too many white people like that. It be our children, right? But it says thefts. These are the things that starts in the mind, and they're just children. They're not being taught. But easily an incident could have happened to where the Chinese man, he don't have the right to, but they'll make it seem like he got the right to slaying them. Understand? It says thefts. Give me Ephesians 4:28. And not just the children, grown people still too. Yep.
This is the book.
Like they say, grown folks. Right. Yeah, they still too. Yep. I remember I got a story. I remember I probably was in my 20s, right? And it's crazy. It's about my cousin. He be watching my videos too. He probably gonna watch this. But I had a cousin. We was in our 20s, right? And we went into a store. I don't know what we was doing. Maybe we came from playing ball or something. We went into a store. And I bought whatever I bought, got in the car. I was driving. And he come back into the car, right? And he had like candy bars in his pocket. And come to find out, his grown behind, he was like 20-something. He stole some candy bars. Like that's crazy. Your grown butt still stealing candy bars. He didn't need to, but it was just the mentality. In his mind, he just used to doing it. But when I examined it, he just jeopardized me and him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, grown people still too. All right. Ephesians 4:28.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 28. Let him that stole steal no more.
You see that? So the Bible says, if you got that thought and you made an action, don't do it no more. Read on.
But rather, let him labor, working with his hands, the thing which is good.
It said, let him labor, working with his hands, right? Meaning what? Get a job. Get a job. Now, I don't mean to bring this up. It just popped up in my mind. I remember one time we was at men's conference. And something happened. I ain't gonna say no more though. I ain't gonna say no more. But I can't help it. It just popped up. You know. I ain't gonna say no more. Read that again, officer.
Let him labor, working with his hands, the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needed.
So when it's saying, get a job, right? Quit stealing. Quit stealing them candy bars. Get a job, right? All right, Mark 7 again. Let's go.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness.
It says covetous. Now, when it comes to covetous, I'm not going to touch on it like that, but it's a lot of different things people covet after, right? Covetousness is heavy in our communities, right? We covet after all type of things, right? But one thing in particular, James 4:1. Even in a worldly sense, the world has a problem with this as well. James 4:1.
the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 1. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members?
You see that? So when it comes to wars and all these things, it's all covetousness, fighting over oil and whatever it may be. Or when you look at our people, you got all this gang violence, fighting over territory and all this stuff that don't belong to none of them, right? So some people covet after different things. You know, whatever it is that's in your mind, that's what you're going to covet after. Some people covet after power. Some people covet after position, right? Whatever it may be. Some people covet after women, men, whatever it is that's in your mind, people covet after it. All right? Mark 7:21.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness.
Wickedness. 2 Kings 21 real quick. I'm going to touch it real fast. 2 Kings 21.
This is the book of...
Yep, read on.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 1. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 50 years in Jerusalem.
So this is talking about Manasseh, right? Our forefather Manasseh. Read on.
And his mother's name was Hephzibah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, after the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel.
Verse 6.
Verse 6. And he made his son pass through the fire, and observe times, and use enchantments, and deal with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord.
So another form of wickedness is enchantments, dealing with wizards, familiar spirits, tarot readings, horoscopes, all these different things. That's what our forefather Manasseh was dealing with. That is another form of wickedness. And a lot of our people be in that too. You'll be somewhere, like you be at work, they'll be like, hey, what's your horoscope? I don't know. I don't give a damn. You know? But our people be involved in these things, right? And that's what Manasseh was in. That's another form of wickedness, all right? Let's go back to Mark 7 and just leave off at wickedness. You ain't got to read the whole thing.
Deceit.
It says deceit, right? Give me Proverbs 24 and 28. Proverbs 24 and 28.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 28. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without cause, and deceive not with thy lips. Say not, I will do so to him as he had done to me. I will render to the man according to his work.
Okay, so when it goes into deceit, that can goes into dealing falsely, lying, all these different things, right? This is something that a lot of our people do as well. Even in this truth, a lot of people be deceitful. It is what it is. Why is that? Because it starts in your mind. All these things starts in your mind. So we got to learn to put these things off. Like I say, in Wisdom of Solomon, it said the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee that, right? You'll lose understanding and different things like that. Why? Because you're being deceitful, right? We must not be deceitful. Let's go back, Mark 7.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 22. Thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness.
Lascivious. Let me get a definition of lascivious real quick. Lasciviousness. And then give me James 1 and 14. All right, lasciviousness. My bad, Austin, I got you doing too much. Read that for me.
Lascivious, of a person, manner, or gesture, feeling or revealing an overt and often offensive sexual desire.
I think it's another definition, but it's like a strong sexual desire, right? When it comes to lasciviousness, a lot of our people deal with that when it comes to like pornography. Hell, they got that old show Dateline NBC or Chris Hansen or whatever it may be. You dealing with child molestation, all these different things, that goes into lasciviousness. And that happens a lot in the black and Hispanic community. We already done read in Leviticus 18 about the incest, right? These things happen, right? But we got to learn to control these thoughts that plagues us, right? Let's go back, Austin.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 20.
I'm trying to speed it up, man. 5 o'clock
Yes,
came quick.
Verse 22. Thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, and evil eye.
It said an evil eye, right? When it comes to an evil eye, that goes into hatred, envy, jealousy, all these different things. And a lot of our people get envious of one another. Why? It could be some of their accomplishments. It could be, I don't know, it could be anything, right? I got a video real quick. Let's pull that video up also. And now hold on real quick. I think you got a cuss word. Hold on, pause real quick. I think you got one cuss word in here. All right, so if y'all want y'all children, I know y'all children probably be cussing. I mean, come on, I know y'all. I know, or no, if not the children, you know how your children do something, and you like, man, get your.
He ain't
So
lying.
your children know the cuss words, you know. Right. All right, it's just one word though. All right, play that.
Well, little did we know.
Turn up a little bit.
Local big head nigga named Rico started feeling his pockets was getting a little thinner since we got.
It's that evil eye.
It's all them fools go right there.
They killing
Trouble
them.
was right there on that corner, staring right at us.
Yeah, they rolling hard too. They slanging real good, real good.
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta stop.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
All right. That's that evil eye, right? Those things happen, right? But it starts in the mind. So then what happened? They get in the evil eye. Then what do you say? I'm gonna drop a dime on them, right? It can even get to that point, or it could be worse than that. They may want to go try to do something. It's the same way as us, even in this truth, right? Like you may have a sister. She makes some good unleavened bread, but she didn't get a compliment. Another sister made some bread and she got a compliment, right? Sister may be like, well, shit, my bread is better, right? And then you start being jealous of a sister. Then you sitting across the room staring at a sister, and a sister looking like, why is she staring at me? I don't know why, because you had that envy eye. You was eyeing them, right? Kind of like, we're not gonna go through it. I was gonna touch on it, but for time's sake, kind of like when it was David and Saul, right? They were saying, you know, David killed 1,000, Saul, whatever it was, or David 10,000, Saul 1,000, something like that. It made him jealous. It said after that he was eyeing David, right? So jealousy will cause you to be like that. The scripture says we should not be envious of one another. Matter of fact, give me James 3:13. I'll touch on that real quick. James 3:13.
This is the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter envyings,
if you have what?
Bitter envyings and strife in your hearts, glory not.
It says glory not.
And lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above.
It said, this wisdom don't send from above. But what is it?
But it's earthly.
It's what?
Earthly.
And what else?
Sensual. Devilish.
And devilish. When we have that envying spirit, that jealousy spirit, that's not of God. It said that's of the devil.
You got the devil.
And we know a lot of times it be pointed toward more on this side, but even the brothers get like that too. It said that is devilish, right? Read on.
For where envyings and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
It said wherever envy and strife is confusion in every evil work. All right, let's go back. Leave off at evil eye. What's the next one?
Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. All right, brothers. I got a question now. What's the third commandment? Who could tell me? What's the third commandment? Anybody? Brothers don't know the commandments, man? Come on, brothers. Guess. Hey, somebody. Hey, get a mic for him. What's the third commandment?
Don't take the Lord's name in vain.
Don't take the Lord thy God name in vain. Get a brother a hand. Give him a hand. All praises. All praises. If you don't know the commandments, I will behoove you to learn them, all right, in order, all right? So the third commandment, let's get that. Give me the Exodus 20 and verse 7.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
It says, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. What it's talking about? In lies. Lying on God, right? Which a lot of Christians do all the time. That goes into blasphemy, right? Where God said all things are clean. God says you can part the Red Sea. God says you can do it. That's blasphemy.
That was a lie.
Right? Taking the Lord thy God name in vain. Is it more on that, officer?
For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
So we must not do that. We can't blaspheme God's name. You understand that? And it's something else that will make you blaspheme. Give me Proverbs, I think it's 30 and verse 8. Because understand, when you going through hard times and stuff like that, you might want to blaspheme God's name. Like when it came to Moses' wife. I'm sorry. Job's wife. She said, curse God and die.
Damn.
Right? But affliction, if it's not corrected, it will have your mind want to blaspheme God. All right, read what you got, Austin.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 8. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord?
Who is the Lord? That's why, you know why some of us not rich? Because soon as we get rich, soon as we hit the lottery, adios. I don't even know. God of who? God of what? Our people do that. So what it's saying is, you'll get to a certain point or a status in life and you'll start blaspheming God. I don't believe that stuff no more. God says I can do whatever I want to do. Why? Because you feel like you're on top of the world. So wealth can cause you to blaspheme God. Read on.
Or unless I be poor and steal.
Unless you be poor. Even affliction can cause you to blaspheme God. Read on.
And take the name of my God in vain.
You see that? And take the name of God in lies. Right? Let's go back. What's the next one after blasphemy?
Pride.
It says pride, right? Pride. Give me the definition of pride is being arrogant, basically. Being arrogant, right? But give me Proverbs 16 and 18. Proverbs 16 and 18.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall.
So what it's saying is, those that got a prideful spirit, right? Can't nobody tell you anything. You fall in the midst of sin. That pride will destroy you. That's why it says it's good to be meek. It's good to be humble, right? Because if not, that pride is going to destroy you. But where do it set in at? Sirach 10 and 12. How does that pride come on us? It starts in your mind. Then you start to get beside yourself, so to speak, right? Sirach 10 and start at verse 12.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 12. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God.
And that's where it starts. It starts in your mind. That's the beginning. Now it's already in your mind. That's one of the demons. And now you start to depart from God. You start to not show up on the Sabbath, right? You used to come to the Sabbath continually, but then you start fading away. You start fading away. That's where it can set in at. Read.
And his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin.
It said pride is the beginning of sin. Now you're not fellowshipping. You're not coming around. Now you're thinking, oh, well, God not going to judge me. You're very prideful. The next thing you know, you're getting judged. Read on.
And he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And
Is that in on it?
No, sir.
Read
And
on.
therefore the Lord brought up on them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly.
And that's where all these afflictions come in at. Why? Because you decided to depart from God with your pride. Right? Give me Proverbs 8 and 13. So we must learn to hate these things. But to hate them, you got to do something about it. You got to be disciplined. You gotta study. Because if not, like I said, Satan is like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. That's them demons inside you. They already there. They just waiting on you to activate them. That's all. Proverbs 8.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
It's to hate evil.
Pride and arrogance.
You see that? So the Lord is letting us know we're supposed to hate evil. Being prideful is evil. We're supposed to hate being arrogant. Talking so exceedingly proud. All these different things. We're supposed to hate that. Slandering, whether it's slandering your brother, slandering your sister, slandering leadership, we're supposed to hate those things. Thinking you can do better than one person. All that is pride, right? Read that from the top again.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the froward mouth do I hate.
Okay. So God hates that, right? So we're supposed to hate it. God hated it, we're supposed to hate it. All right, let's go to the last one. The 13th demon.
Foolishness.
Foolishness. Give me Proverbs 24:9. Foolishness. Foolishness.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 9. The thought of foolishness is sin.
It said the thought of foolishness is sin. Why? Because you will entertain it. You will entertain it, which it becomes action. Now it's sin. Like I said, it starts first, and when it's finished, it becomes sin. Right? Give me Ephesians 5. I'm moving fast. I think I missed something. Ephesians 5, give me that. 5 and start at verse 1.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 1. Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children.
Okay.
And walk in love, as Christ also hath loved us.
So we're supposed to walk after the commandments of God. Read on.
And hath given us himself for us as an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling Savior. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you.
It said, let it not be named among you. Read on.
As becometh saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking.
Nor foolish talking. So foolishness it can go into sin, but it also goes against the foolish things that we may say. The foolish things that we say. You could drop that off. So give me Sirach 21 and 25. That goes into your talebearers, revealing secrets, all these different things. Foolish talk, blasphemy, all these things, right? Sirach 21.
This is the book of Sirach,
25.
chapter 21 and verse 25. The lips of talkers will be telling such things as pertain not unto them. But the words
they always, it said the lips of talkers, they always want to talk about somebody else, but they're not looking at themselves, right? A lot of our people do that all the time. Read on.
But the words of such as have understanding are weighed in the balance.
You see that? But the ones that have understanding, they know how to hold their tongue. You know, they know what not to say. Read on.
The heart of fools is in their mouth, but the mouth of the wise is in their heart.
And even in the world, I know we all know somebody that just never be quiet. They talk so much, and what they're saying is just foolish. That's what it said. Read.
Verse 27. When the ungodly curseth Satan, he curseth his own soul.
So it said when the ungodly or that foolish, he cursing Satan, but he really cursing himself. Why? Because he's doing the works of Satan. Whether he in his talk, he's slandering or whatever it may be, right? That's the work of Satan. Read on.
A whisperer defileth his own soul.
It said someone who is a whisperer defiles their own soul. This is something else that defiles us. being gossipers, murmurers, talebearers, or whisperers, right? It's not talking about that. Read on.
And is hated wheresoever he dwelleth.
That will cause you to be hated. All right. Mark 7:24. We almost done.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 24. And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Zidon.
23, my bad.
Verse 23. All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
It said all these evil things that we just went over, which is sin. This is what defiles us. Sin is our kryptonite. Sin is what's going to stop us from getting the kingdom of God. Right? It said, these are the things that defile us. Ephraim, you got that last thing? This is a quote the bishop had quoted. I forgot who it came from, but it's a good quote. I'll read that also.
Watch your thoughts, for they become your words.
It said, watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Remember, the thoughts is first because that's where it starts at. It starts in your mind. Them evil thoughts. Read on.
Watch your words, for they become your actions.
It says now it starts as thoughts, but then now you start talking about it. Now you acting on it. Read.
Watch your actions, for they become your habits.
Because you didn't watch your actions or control your actions, now it's a habit. It started in the mind, but now you couldn't control your fingers on the keyboard. Now you watching porn every night. Yep, every night. Through your actions. Read on.
Watch your habits, for they become your character.
Now it became a habit. Now it's your character. Now things coming out of you is showing what you be doing. It's showing you don't study. You was a murmurer like 5 years ago.
Damn.
You was a gossiper like 6 years ago. God damn. You still a gossiper today. Right? You had a lot of hatred 5 years ago. You still got a lot of hatred today. So now it became your character, who you are. Read on.
Watch your character, for they become your destiny.
Then it's going to become your destiny. Either the kingdom or destruction. You choose.
Y'all all right?
All right. Give me. I don't want to go over that. All right. So when you examine Romans chapter 7, I ain't going to touch on it. When you examine Romans chapter 7, Paul is going over the battle between the flesh and the spirit, right? When it comes to our thoughts and all that, all this is a battle, right? We battle these things every day. That's why Paul was saying, I die daily, right? Even when you're at home chilling, you may not be doing nothing. Have you ever had a evil thought just pop in your mind? You think like, man, why am I thinking of this? I wouldn't do nothing like that, but it just pops up. Right? That's how it starts. But it's up to you to control it or suppress that thing. Because if not, it's going to become your actions. Then it's going to become a habit. Then it's going to become your character. Then now you out the truth because you made it your destiny. Right? So like Bishop say, study, pray, and apply. Let's deal with the study part. All right? Let's see how to battle these things. We know 2 Timothy 2:5. That's study to show yourself approved, right? I ain't going to touch on that. Give me 1 Timothy 4:13. 1 Timothy 4:13. Let me get it.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading.
It said, until I come, give attendance to reading. We must make sure we are reading. We are studying. And I know when it comes to the brothers, we like to study a lot of deep stuff. That's fine if that's what you study. But we need to be studying what we battling with. That's how we're going to put off these thoughts and things. Well, they're gonna still be there. But that's how we are battle on acting out on these thoughts. You have to read. You have to study. Read that again.
Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
It said, neglect not the gift that is in thee, right? We know what we're supposed to be doing. We know what the commandments are. You know, we know we shouldn't be entertaining our lusts. We know we shouldn't be lurking in them streets. We know that. Read on.
Which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things.
It says, meditate upon these things. What? Meditate in the scriptures. We're supposed to meditate in the scriptures, like it says, day and night. Read on.
Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
That your profiting may appear to all, right? Because when you meditate and you give a tenet to it, that becomes your character. When people see you, they're going to be like, dang, that's a righteous sister. Dang, that brother, there's something different about that brother. And I'm talking about when you in the world, you at your job or whatever it may be, they're going to know it's a difference. But if you're not doing that, in this truth, you're an Israelite. But in the world, they're going to like, man, that brother be over this, and that. You say, that brother who? I seen him on the court. That brother be doing this. Or that sister be doing that. Why? Because you're not applying it. Read on.
Verse 16. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them.
It said, continue in them.
For in doing this.
It says, for in doing this. Meaning you got to endure. You got to have discipline. In doing this, read.
Thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
You see that? That's how you're going to save yourself. That's how you're not going to act on them thoughts that we all have. That's the only thing that's going to keep you from it. You have to study. Watch classes on what you're battling. I may not know what you're battling, but you know what you're battling. So you got to keep it real with yourself. That's the study part. It says, Bishop say, study, pray, apply. Let's do the prayer. All right? Give me Psalms 14. Matter of fact, I'm going to skip that. Give me Psalms 141. Start at verse 5. Study, pray, and apply. Perfect. Psalms 141 and verse 5.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 141 and verse 5. Let the righteous smite me. It shall be a kindness. And let him reprove me.
My bad. Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. Lord, I cry unto thee. Make haste unto me. Give ear unto my voice when I cry unto thee.
So this is David, right? This is actually a good prayer. Read on.
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth.
Says, set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth.
Keep the door of my lips. Incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men.
You see that? These things is something that we should be praying. Things that we battling on, we should be praying to the Lord to remove these things from us. We should be praying to the Lord to remove our thoughts, right? I don't know why this popped up in my head, but, you know, I got sons, right? And sometimes when I play with my sons, you know, they like to play as superheroes, right? And they be like, they'll say, Dad, if you had a superpower, what power would you want to have? And I'll mess around with it. I'm like, you know what? If I had a superpower, I want to be able to read minds and control minds. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I just said that to him. But when I realized it, I don't know. If I had that power, I would be able to see all the evil thoughts that people think that goes on in people's head. Why? I mean, the Bible tells us evil thoughts is always up there. So I don't think I want to have that power. Yeah. So sons, I don't want to have that power no more. Right, but I just thought about that. But no, real talk though. All these evil thoughts we went over. I mean, we touched pretty much, I ain't gonna say everything. It's more than that, but we touched a lot. Our minds are desperately wicked. Right. So this is why David is saying this. Go back, officer. Read that again.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 141 and verse 4.
Yep.
Incline not my heart to any evil thing, to practice wicked works with men that work iniquity, and let me not eat of their dainties.
So those are some things we should pray on, that the Most High remove these thoughts from us, right? That he helps us to be able to battle these things that we're dealing with. That's what we should be praying, right? So study, pray, and let's go to the application. Give me Proverbs 16 and 3. Because when it comes to application, that's your actions. Proverbs 16, verse 3.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 3. Commit thy works unto the Lord.
It said, commit thy works unto the Lord. If you're doing works unto the Lord, what is that? Action. You got some offices, some duties in this truth. Right? Read on.
And thy thoughts shall be established.
You see that? When you commit works unto the Lord, your thoughts are going to be established. Right? It's easy to be sitting idle and now you thinking of some evil stuff. But how often of evil things you think about when your mind stay occupied doing the Lord's work? A lot of that evil sits in when you're idle. That's where it comes from. Read that again.
Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established.
So when we commit the works unto the Lord, our thoughts will be established. Proverbs 4:19. A couple more scriptures, and I'll be done. Proverbs 4:19. So this is how we battle these things. Study, pray, and apply.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, attend to my words.
Why they know not? Because they're not studying. If you're not studying, you ain't going to know certain things you stumbling at. Read.
Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart.
Keep what?
Keep them in the midst of thine heart.
What God is saying? Always study. Keep the laws in the midst of your mind. Because soon as you don't, there go demon number 3. There go that weed demon. Brother not showing up because we here watching class and he at home high as hell. Right? That's where that demon sits in at. Read.
Verse 22. For they are life unto those that find them.
You see that? The commandments of God is life to us. That's what's going to save us. Read.
And health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence.
It said, keep thy mind with all diligence. It takes diligence. Read.
For out of it are the issues of life.
You see that? That's where that life comes from. Read on.
Put away from thee a forward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established.
Because when you do the works of the Lord, your thoughts going to be established. Read on.
Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil.
It says, remove thy foot from evil. Don't act on your thoughts, them evil thoughts. Last scripture, 2nd Ezra 7:56. 2nd Ezra 7 and start at verse 56.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
Read that again.
For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
I know we in this truth, but I don't know if people understand the realization of when they're reading Revelations, it says the books were laid open, right? It's going to be the Bible, and God is going to compare it to your life. It's going to be compared to your life. So in that day, them books going to be open, and you should hope and pray that your life line up with the Bible, right? Meaning what? You got to be sincere with yourself all the time, right? Read that again, officer.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
So after death, it's going to be a judgment, right? Read on.
Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle.
It said, this is the condition of the battle. We battle every day with our carnal flesh and with our spirit. We know the flesh is weak, saying you should do this, but your mind, because you know the Bible, you got the laws in there. Now you battling. You understand you shouldn't be doing that, right? So it's a battle. It says this is the condition of the battle. Read.
which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
Which we gotta fight. So it's always gonna be a fight daily, from the thoughts in our minds to your actions or to applying the commandments of God. It's going to be a battle every day, but it said we must fight. Is it more on that?
That's it on that verse.
That's it. So all praise to the Most High. Like Bishop said, study, pray, and apply. I pray y'all was edified and y'all got something. Brothers, never give up.
Never give in.
Never give up. All praise to the Most High.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airways, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.